In this video, I'm going to talk about how to write things off for taxes as an online teacher. Now, if you stay with me all the way to the end, I will give you a little bit of a tip on how to write things off when you use them partially for business and partially for personal use, and how that works. Okay, so writing things off as an online teacher is important because when you have expenses and you have saved the receipts, by the way, that's an important part of just covering your own basis as an online teacher. If you ever have a problem with the IRS, you need to make sure you have receipts for everything that you are writing off. So just make sure you have a copy. How does writing off work, right? I'll just explain that real quick. Let's just say you made $40,000 as an online teacher, right? And so you have in your wages for your Form 1040 on the IRS form, you have $40,000 for your wages for that year. And let's just say you had $2,000 worth of receipts that you spent on supplies. For example, you might have bought paper, you might have bought pens, you might have bought some props, like maybe a turtle, maybe, who knows, a whole bunch of different things that added up to $2,000. And you put in the $2,000 in the supply box, and what that does is it brings your $40,000, which would otherwise be taxable all at $40,000, it brings it down to $38,000. So instead of all $40,000 being taxable, it makes it so that now you only have $38,000 that is taxable. So how does that benefit you? Well, it just means that you are paying less tax on the amount that you made. So basically the $2,000, you are not paying tax on the amount that you earned through teaching. So it's a little bit complicated to think about, but hopefully that gives you a better idea. So, what are the actual things that you can write off as an online teacher? And I'm just going to talk about the few basic things that I write off and some of the bigger purchases that you can still write off, but that I would have to go over in a different video. Okay? By the way, I am able to talk about this because I am currently working for H&R Block, and I am learning from two different people, one with 50 years experience and one with 15 years experience. So I am surrounded by a wealth of experience in taxes, and I'm just bringing some basic knowledge to you. So hopefully that will help. So first of all, oftentimes when you're online teaching, especially on Outschool, you give out coupons to parents. Make sure you keep track of these coupons and add them up at the end of the year, because they are all tax write-offs on your taxes. So add up all the amounts of the coupons that you gave out or that were claimed in the current tax year, and that total amount can be put in the advertising box in your Schedule C of Form 1040. Okay, right here. The next thing I'll talk about is supplies. Okay, so as long as you didn't spend more than like $500 on a supply, like let's say you bought a laptop for $2,000, I would not put that under supplies. Okay, I would actually put that as an asset which can be depreciated over years. And if you want to know more about what that is and why you would do that, go ahead and comment below, and I can go over that more in another video. Okay, but let's just talk about supplies that cost less than $500 or less, right? So you would add all those supplies up, and let's just say it was, $600 total. You would add that supply amount to the supply box on Schedule C of Form 1040. And the final thing that I'll go over that I think all online teachers will have is an internet bill. Okay? So the thing with the internet bill is that unless you use it 100% for your business, you're supposed to have documentation of how much you use it for personal use and how much for business use. So you would want to figure out what that percentage is and actually have documentation of that, and then put that percentage in your other box. So I don't actually put it in supplies, I don't put it in utilities, I put my internet as an other item because this allows me to actually describe it in the box that the IRS gives you, and the IRS likes that. They appreciate that when you actually describe what you're writing off. So I put in internet and I describe like where I got the internet from and how much it is that I used it for business purposes, like like for this year it was $500 worth of it. It was the whole thing, right? So if it's clearly not the whole thing of internet that you use for business, then just figure out what the percentage is and take that percentage of the amount that you paid and put it in that box. You can also write off the fees that you paid to have your taxes done. So right now we're in 2023, right? So for me, in 2022, I paid TurboTax over $200 to do my taxes from 2021. And so for 2022, I can write off that amount on my taxes, and I can put that into the legal services box on the Schedule C Form 1040. Okay, so you made it to the very end of the video, and I did mention that I would go over very briefly how to calculate if you didn't completely use something 100% for business use and how to calculate that percentage. So let's just give an example for, let's just say internet, right? Let's just say that you spent $500 on internet and you only use it 80% for business. So how would you calculate that? Well, you would take the $500 that you spent, put it into a calculator, and since you calculated that it was 80% for business use, you would do $500 times 0.8, right? That's the 80% equals, and you would get $400. So what would you be able to put in the internet box or for your taxes? You'd be able to put $400, right? Because it was 80% use. So you would write off $400, and that's it. That's the tip. Hopefully this video you found a little bit useful in some ways, and if you did, go ahead and boop that like button. And also, if you like these videos and want to get more and be notified every week when I post a new video every Wednesday, go ahead and subscribe, and that way you'll be in the loop every Wednesday. Alright, that's all for this week, so we'll see you next week. Alright, goodbye.